perhaps the only thing more anticipated on Super Bowl Sunday than the game itself,
Puppy monkey baby.
He's got Smat Pack!
I'm on a horse.
are the commercials.
You can't just wear my face.
And many of the most iconic commercials are beer ads, from the funny
How you doing? How you doing?
What's that?
to the poignant. But for 33 years, these beer ads have had one thing in common. Anheuser-Busch InBev has been the only company permitted to advertise alcohol during the Super Bowl, thanks to an exclusivity deal with the NFL. Budweiser took full advantage of that agreement, and for the past 2 decades, the brewer outspent all other brands in advertising at the Super Bowl. But this year, Budweiser is calling an audible and giving up its grip on the event. And that has opened the door to beer and alcohol companies that have long been excluded from the big game.
Anheuser-Busch giving up their exclusivity on that game is a huge deal.
Super Bowls are consistently ranked as the most watched annual television broadcasts in America. Although ratings have declined in recent years, last year, the big game attracted over 112 million viewers. According to the analytics firm Kantar, there are approximately 80 to 100 ads aired during each Super Bowl. That works out to a total advertising time of about 50 minutes, or roughly 30 seconds per ad. Purchasing a commercial during the big game isn't cheap. In 2022, each 30-second ad slot went for as much as $6.5 million.
I got some bad news.
So after previously paying for the privilege to keep its competitors off the field, why is Budweiser changing course?
Now, how is that supposed to sell beer?
Even though Anheuser-Busch gave up their exclusive right to be the only alcohol advertiser in the Super Bowl, doesn't mean that Super Bowl is not impactful from a business point of view. Anheuser-Busch is still spending tons of money during the game on ads, and what they've said publicly is that they're basically going to use some of the money that they used on that for other things. So when you think about Super Bowl, it happens in the middle of February. It's not really the prime selling season for beer. That happens in summer. So you could imagine that a company like AB might save some of that money and spend it when, sales are really high.
Although Anheuser-Busch InBev has effectively had a monopoly on Super Bowl beer ads since 1989, other brands have found creative ways into the conversation surrounding the game, such as buying ad time in local markets around the country.
Beer brands have really had to bend over backwards to try and steal the buzz, and they've for years depended on these guerrilla marketing campaigns to stimulate Super Bowl buzz without actually buying ads. And it's a fraction of the price, and you're still getting press, and you're also seen in really big markets.
This is a stunt designed to make you miss our competitors' ad.
One of the really successful guerrilla marketing campaigns that a rival brewer had run a couple of years ago was one by Miller Lite. They basically ran a contest where they offered free beer for consumers, basically saying when they see the Michelob Ultra ad, to go to the web and type in this extra long URL. So basically that's stealing the traffic that other people would have been searching for that brand. And it got them a lot of publicity leading up to the game, even though they didn't have a Super Bowl ad in the game itself.
For this year's Super Bowl, viewers can expect to see spirit brands like Remy Martin and Crown Royal whiskey.
Peanut butter? What?
Crown Royal is seizing on the opportunity to compete. Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters is already being featured in a teaser designed to elicit interest in the big game's ad spot.
The egg carton?
So I think the biggest beneficiary of Anheuser-Busch's change will be Molson Coors. The company actually is really creative because they've learned to sort of try and find their way to steal the buzz, and this year they've used that creativity to come out with this huge program.
After an over 30-year hiatus, Molson Coors recently ran ads asking consumers which of its 2 light beers, Miller Lite or Coors Light, deserves the brewer's coveted Super Bowl spot.
They've teamed up with DraftKings, which is really smart given how, everybody in this nation is obsessed with sports online betting right now. So what consumers can do is go and figure out I think this is what they're, will it be Miller, will it be Coors?
Oh, hey.
Heineken will also make an appearance this year. The Dutch brand is teaming up with Marvel to promote the upcoming Ant-Man film and its alcohol-free brew, Heineken 0.0. Despite giving up its exclusivity agreement with the NFL, Anheuser-Busch InBev brands like Bud Light and Michelob Ultra will still have a presence in the game on February 12th.
Who drinks Budweiser?
But on the national stage, Budweiser won't be appearing.
They say all people are 6 degrees of separation away from each other.
In regional markets, Budweiser will run an ad that features a Kevin Bacon voiceover with a nod to the concept of 6 degrees of separation, all facilitated by a six-pack.
The people who share the same spirit share the same beer. This Bud's for you.